Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Ultimate Apocalypse casts this side of East Yorkshire. And today I've got a 1 vs 1 on Frostbite River. Playing as the Orks, we've got many matches delivered. Whereas playing as Space Marines, we've got Yharnam Hunter. Yharnam will be opening with triple scouts, a plasma generator, and a chapel barracks. Whereas the Orks are going to be opening with double slugger boys, a boys hut, and a plasma generator. So the Space Marines, played by Yharnam Hunter, did get them through random this game. You normally see old Yharnam quite comfortable with the tout, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes about with the Space Marines. Not sure how comfortable he is, but he is quite an accomplished player in the Ultimate Apocalypse community. Interesting map in the sense that all your strategic points are more or less inside the base. Got 4 to play with. Also in a very defensive position behind all these sandbags and up atop a hill. Anyone invading, if these guys are upgraded, will have a hard time moving up. Although your relic is quite exposed in this game, as well as your relics, as well as your critical locations as well. So getting those late game tier units will require you to have some sort of map presence in the centre. Can't be turtling up in your base at all. I can see a big mech and a shooter boy squad from many matches delivered. The potential early aggression, which is what the Orks are known for. Going to see a brother captain coming out for the Space Marines as they're just building up their listening posts and whatnot. Not pushing out too far towards this relic, although they are going to have a sniff on this critical location. Going for their Blood Angels? Blood Angel skin. There we go, that's what I'm predicting that is. Really bad at remembering what symbols they are. I always get the Blood Angels and the Blood Ravens mixed up. They've both got wings, they've both got blood, but one's a bird and one's an angel. So that's what I'm going to predict, because it's white wings. That's me thinking. Anyway, Big Mech is going to come over here, and they will be seeing these scouts kneeling down on the ground. We'll give one a good elbow on the top of his noggin. And yeah, 1 strike, 2 strikes is all it takes for this Big Mech to rip a scout apart. Attempting to capture that critical location. Look at that. 1 backhand sends him packing. This scout narrowly surviving with an inch of his life before being shot down. Brother captain looking for some revenge. Will engage a glorious hand-to-hand combat. In a 1v1, a brother captain will probably win, but with a squad of burner boys coming in and some shooter boys in support, yeah, the brother captain is going to have to go home. We'll be getting some tactical marines. And it does look like he's gone for build add-on. So have you already gone for tier 2, sir? Is that what you've gone for? Or have you just gone for one of the Space Marine upgrades? In Ultimate Apocalypse, you can have a bunch of different chapters that you can go for. You can either go for like Burning Legion or generic Space Marines. Which I assume he's gone for generic Space Marines as... Well, he's got Tactical Marines, which would be replaced by the Burning Legion. Not the Burning Legion, the Legion of the Damned. That's what they're called. I always get their names confused. But yeah, Burner Boys going to be burning down this listing post. It's been upgraded. Very unfortunate. Also going to see some scouts down here. These guys will be sent to the back lines in a body bag. I'm going to see... Ooh, we're going to see some weapon servitors. Always makes me think of that person from, oh, what do you call it, Toy Soldiers, the one with the club for a hand. Impressive amount of firepower these boys can bring, but very fragile at the same time. Morale being broken for these lads. We'll have to waddle away with their crab-like arms. Tactical Marines, where are you? Are you alive here somewhere? Have you been taken out already? Yeah, those guys. Only 2 models when they first come out. Very tanky are they though. Lots of health per individual model, but gotta give them time to increase their numbers. Weapon servitors jumping inside that stronghold, but actually both squads are going to jump inside there. Keep themselves safe from that squad of burner boys. Now brother captain alone, looking for these devastators to come out. And weapon servitors now coming out once again to open fire. Their setup time is quite substantial, but they are going to be taking out these burner boys who are now quite content of just engaging in range combat. Looks like they're taking out one squad of weapon servitors. These guys will retreat once again. And Chaplin coming out. Ah, so he has gone for tier 2 then. It's just me being silly in the brain. The Orc numbers are whittling. Burner boys turning their attention to these Devastators. Devastators taking out these Shooter boys in close combat. As the Chaplain is getting ready to mix and match in close combat. And more Tactical Marines are on the way out, so Space Marines have managed to hold firm with that very aggressive early Orc invasion. Big Mech Orcs coming back round. And 11 Slugger Boys just to continue the aggression. Listening Post trying to repair itself. Do believe that when a building tries to repair itself, it's a lot slower in repairing than if you just got some servitors around. Big explosion from the Big Mech teleporting in. Brother Captain very low on health. But the Chaplain inspiring fear inside the minds of these Slugger Boys. Slowing them down as well with, I imagine, what was a smite. Or some sort of heroic shout. Chaplain as well will do a great job at keeping these Tactical Marines and Devastators alive. You can tell by his little friendly medic mark above his head. The Burner Boy's been used quite nicely in this engagement. Unable to take down the listening post though. And finally, the Greenskins have been purged from this place. Tech Marine coming online for Yharnam Hunter. 150 and 30 for the economy, compared to 172 and 40. So no real major benefit from that engagement there. I mean, they got some kills, they got some damage done. But not really affecting the Space Marines all that much. And they've now got quite a sizable firing force to come in for a counter-offensive. They have gone for their mech lab, which is where they research all their unique Orc units. Going to get some tank buster technology. Double Shooter Boys going to be equipping themselves with big shooters. In fact, triple Shooter Boys. Also going to go for their more Orc pop on all these War Banners. War Banners for the Orcs in Ultimate Apocalypse. They start off very cheap, but much like Necron plasma generators, they increase substantially in money the more you build them up. So you kind of tend to build up a fair few and then research their more Orc pop. But it does take quite a while to research, so you've got to get that early on in the game. Which is what I always forget to do whenever I play the Orcs in Ultimate Apocalypse. But every day's a school day. Big Mech teleporting in. Bringing some Slugger Boys for the ride. Devastator squad, only one Marine still in that unit. And this is a good amount of Greenskins on the back lines. But Big Mech pushing a little bit too far forward. Will be taken down. Tactical Marines also falling foul to the same kind of problem. Slugger Boys on auto reinforce here. They're impressive numbers, forcing these weapon servitors not be able to gain a purchase on these Shooter Boys. And now the Space Marines once again being pushed all the way back into their base here. Yeah, wonderful use of Slugger Boys. Keep those lads occupied. Now this listening post over here will be stricken down. Plasma generators being smacked around all these not all this, just the one singular listening post. Sorry, I really need to slow down when I'm talking sometimes. But yeah, these plasma generators will increase the blue money coming in from that singular listening post. Got this lad now being upgraded into tier 2. Heavy bolter turret trying to be built up here. Really need to kind of come over here and rebuild this instead. But sadly we'll lose that. Devastator Marines, armed with their heavy bolters. And Chaplain and Captain now returning the favour. Got some commandos sneaking in from the sides as a machine cult has been finished. Second stronghold online for all the more green money. Also, wonderful base placement as well. Plasma generators will increase the build... Well, sorry, decrease the build speed on anything coming out from that machine cult. Hellfire Dreadnought speeding out of there. Yeah, I think the Hellfire Dreadnought is the way forward. Missile launcher will disrupt the formation of the Orc firing line, while also providing some autocannon goodness. I'll go and see what are you? You are a gun wagon for the Orcs. So once they build up their mech shop, gun wagon, kind of like a quasi... Well, I think it is actually artillery. Love the stomping sound of the Hellfire Dreadnought as it comes out to join the front lines. And what's going on? Yeah, so vehicle cap increases. So definitely I think Yharnam's plan is to go a vehicle-based composition here. Faith indeed is eternal, Hellfire Dreadnought. Indeed it is. And yeah, I suppose that the Slugger Boys won't be able to tie up this Hellfire Dreadnought, although look at you being very brave. Maybe this is not the place for you to be, Mr. Hellfire Dreadnought, not on your own. Well, I suppose he is taking a lot of damage. He's an armoured vehicle. Shooter boys aren't going to do all that much damage against him, even with the big shooters. But what a beautiful concave, look at that. Tasty. Shame they're not doing any damage. Also going to see a Stalker anti-aircraft. These Orcs thinking, we are not aircraft, what are you doing? But it's doing the business. So yeah, but actually, in this firing line, there's only really one big shooter firing. Everyone else is kind of just watching. Commander is unseen. But these Slugger Boys are going to be the primary ire of the Stalker anti-aircraft vehicle. Second Hellfire Dreadnought moving over on this side. Now the Orcs are in a bit of a pickle. They need as much anti-vehicle as humanly possible available to them. Are going to see some tank busters moving in now over the ridge. Big Mech teleporting around the side. But yeah, there we go. A second squad of tank busters in here. Which will certainly cause a problem for these vehicles. They are not supported by any infantry. So they will suffer for that. Also, their lack of movement speed as well, especially for these Hellfire Dreadnoughts, will cause them some issues. Chaplain falling down, not to get back up. Yeah, after that initial success for the vehicles, the tide has been turned relatively quickly with these tank busters coming in. Hellfire Dreadnoughts not able to reposition themselves quick enough. One will be taken down, another one will also probably be up shit's creek without a paddle. Got some more Devastators there. And a third stronghold, so yeah, just really committing to the plasma generator farm going on. All the upgrades. So, taking up as quickly as possible, going for that elite fighting force. 241 and 159 compared to 196 and 90. Big Mech shot bringing out looted tanks. And the brother captain just doing a little bit of nuisance to keep these guys back. Just to buy Yharnam Hunter a little bit of time to get an actual army online. So at the moment, he's got... I mean, where is your army? You've got Devastator Marines down here. Devastator Marines... Yeah, in fact, 2 squads of Devastator Marines. But that's it, really. Probably saving his money for something big here. Gonna go for a Whirlwind Mark 1. Which will be great against this clump of shooter boys and tank busters. Also will allow to get that vehicle damage in without having to worry about being hit by the tank busters. There we go, Whirlwind online, but Devastator's been left to the south side of the map. Not in range of anything. There we go, one squad moving in. Look at that Whirlwind just throwing in a big rocket. Huge AoE damage. Devastator Marines low in number, but high in damage. Tank being exploded. Minefield of an Ork variety. Oh no, sorry, that's a Space Marine minefield. Being used to full effect there. Devastator's not quite able to get all that much in the way of firing going off. They've gone for double twin-link las cannons to shake away these looted tanks. Devastator's down here that have been forgotten about, sadly. Would be really useful to see those guys engaging in combat. Could have potentially have added that anti-infantry damage that they really needed against these tank busters. Squad of Sturgeon veterans. But yeah, this entire side of Yharnam's base being picked apart. As the Whirlwind continues to fire away, but now will be seen by these looted tanks. And not the tankiest of tanks. Whoever did done did tanked. Sternguard veterans holding up as best they can. Devastator Marines, their numbers being whittled down. No dramas whatsoever. Servitor's trying to keep this Whirlwind Mark 1 up and alive. Yharnam got all the money in the world, but does he have the time to really spend it? He's going for his orbital relay, even in the face of sheer death. He is still teching up. He's still going for those big units, double dreadnoughts on the way. I mean, maybe they'll be able to tie up these tank busters in close combat. I'm going to see some more Sternguard veterans. Devastators, while not being microed at all, will keep these flash kits at bay at the very least. There we go, one dreadnought in the mix. Going to slap down a looted tank. And all the explosions down here, Sternguard veterans using their, what I use, your twin-link las cannons to full effect. And it does seem that the Ork advance, while being very costly to the Space Marine player, has subsided. That was very close. I was absolutely convinced that the Orks were going to push through all the way. I mean, it's not over just yet. We've got some flash kits moving over on this side. The flash kits won't be all that deadly against the dreadnoughts as they waddle over. Do have a looted tank on this side. And some scouts being built up. Going for tier 3, which is technically tier 4 if you're thinking in old money. Whoa, lots of action there. 240 and 92 versus 261 and 109, so economy is still fairly even. We to think it is. Yeah, fairly even. All being said, more tank busters on the way. And the looted tanks patiently waiting outside. What's firing at you? Are you some scouts round there? What is firing at you? I can't see. Got some. Oh, it's got something around the backside. Okay, fair enough. Scouts so stealthy, even I can't see them. The Sternguard going in with some plasma guns and twin-lit las cannons. Doing some nice damage against the looted tanks. Ballistic Post narrowly saved. Tech Priest engines here will... not a Tech Priest, a Tech Marine will come in and look how quickly he's able to repair that bad boy. But a great green push from the south side. Dreadnought going up against the tank busters won't survive for very long. And another Whirlwind Mark 1 coming in. A sacred artifact. Not surviving very long against this powerful dakka line. The Sternguards, most of them with Brilliant lascannons won't do all that much damage against these guys. We'll need to rely on that Whirlwind Mark 1 doing the AoE damage. Going to turn around, put a big boom in the centre of these lads. All that knockback. These guys are heavy infantry. They are going to take the damage on the chin at the very least. And push from the north, push from the south. Going to go for another chaplain. And some Terminator. Oh, Terminators might be able to hold off against these lads. Whirlwind doing some serious damage. But there are enough Ork green gates to weather that storm. Going to see a Predator Annihilator on the way, but Machine Cult quite low in health at the moment. Luatak might be able to take it down. Oh no, never mind, he got destroyed himself. All about, can the Space Marines keep everything online long enough to get that Predator Annihilator out? Would really change the tide of this engagement if they could. Whirlwind trying to keep this pack of Orks and Flash Gates focused on them. Terminators with their armour not able to hold off for very long. Sternguard veterans as well being occupied by this big mech. And Dero D at 64%. But the Orks have turned their attention to the Machine Cult. Oh no, that is devastating. Machine Cult will be taken down. And with that, what else can the Space Marine player do? Not very much in the grand scheme of things with this amount of Orks in the base. But that was a super aggressive game. Very little amount of time was it that the Orks were not engaged in some sort of argy-bargy. But wonderful defense from Yharnam all the way through there. Do have to say, was quite hopeful when the vehicles came out over here, but like I say, I think that maybe some infantry support was desperately needed. But other than that, splendid by all players. If you like the game and like the channel, feel free to support us on the old Patrons. £1 a month does get you one extra game a week. Also, Discord is a thing where all the games happen and all the fun stuff is. Have a look at that in the description. My name's been Mr. Landshark. Pleasure as always, never short. I will see you in a bit. Peace.